Greetings, everyone. So I'm continuing my video on the most underrated rappers. Now, I know I spoke about Ice Cube in my previous video, and I talk about how whenever you look at these rap top 10s, top 10 lists, top 5s, you always see Pac, you always see Biggie, you always see Nas, you always see Rakim. They are always in that list. You don't even see Jay-Z in that list much, and I think he should even be in that list. But the thing is, I find is that the West Coast rappers are never really in those lists. So, and I think Ice Cube is one of the greatest rappers of all time, especially when it comes to storytelling. But another rapper I'm gonna add to that list who's never in the top 10, who to me should, if you're gonna do a top 10 or if you want to extend it to top 20, you gotta put MC Ren from NWA. Why do I say MC Ren? If you go back and you listen to Straight Outta Compton, see, first, not only was he one of the gifted rappers of NWA, he was also a writer. He also helped write some of Eazy-E's lyrics. He wrote Easier Said Than Done for Eazy-E, which to me is one of Eazy-E's top songs. But in Straight Outta Compton, Ren was so different from Ice Cube. Ren was one of the first, I would say, battle rappers. MC Ren, to me, gave birth to rappers like Biggie. And of course, people may get upset when I say that, but and I'm going to tell you why. When you listen to Biggie Smalls rap, Biggie just had a natural authoritative voice. He sounded like he was in charge. He wasn't really very lyrical as far as like different patterns. He was not a Mos Def. He was not an Eminem. He wasn't a Black Thought. But when Biggie got on the mic, he took charge. He spoke like he was an expert. It's just whatever he said went. And if you listen to MC Ren, who came out maybe like at least about 7 years before Biggie. Ren came out in 86. Biggie dropped about 93. So yeah, he had about a good 7 years on Biggie, 5 to 7 years on Biggie. You listen to his song "If It Ain't Rough, It Ain't Me." That is one of the best rap songs when it comes to just battle rappers. Boastful, machismo. A lot of people say they don't know, and just for you younger cats out there don't know, when hip hop first came on the scene, it was all about everybody saying either your neighborhood was the best or you were the best. And Ren was one of the best that ever did it. And you could really hear that on the song, all his songs on Straight Outta Compton. I think, and then his EP right after that, Kiss My Black Ass on Ruthless, with the song Final Frontier. But if you really want to know about Ren, I would say the best songs you can listen to is If It Ain't Rough, It Ain't Me. You could listen to his verse on Days of Way Back on Niggas for Life by NWA. His verse on there just killed it. I think that's line, the black nigga that they call Ren. You fuck with me, you gotta fuck with a Mac 10. And the Final Frontier. Those are the three songs I would say. But If It Ain't Rough, It Ain't Me, he jumps on the song like Ren is the villain and you're just the hostage. So whenever I'm stepping, cover your head like an ostrich. Troopers been waiting for this. Groupies been waiting for this. You know why? Because so many y'all relating to this. Jealous is how the vision intentionally, but they start to love it because I made it eventually. It's just, just that song from start to finish. Ren just let you know that I'm MC Ren, both feet in the door. This is what it is. I would say Ren never really reached that success Dre had and Cube had and Eazy-E had. I always thought he was the most underrated member of NWA, the most overlooked. And I think the problem is when he started doing his solo projects and he didn't have Dre behind him, I think he lost his confidence. And he also became a member of the Nation of Islam. So his lyrics, they lost its bite. And I'm not knocking his religious choice, but it lost its bite when he became a member of the Nation of Islam. And then he put out the album, I think, something about the hour in 1993. Shock of the Hour was the album he put out. So everyone was waiting for him to put out this album called Life Sentence. That was supposed to follow his EP Kiss My Black Ass in 1992. So when Life Sentence didn't come out, and then he came out with Mayday on the Front Line from CB4, we were waiting for the album to come out. He was gonna get on there and say, yeah, I'm MC Ren, and just spit the usual MC Ren battle ready rhymes. But instead he came out with Shock of the Hour, which was an album that just had a lot of the doctrine from Nation of Islam and I think some 5%. And the whole, but that was the thing back then. Everyone was talking about God back then. Black man is God and self, right? That was the times back then. Wu-Tang talked about a lot of that. Rakim did. brand Nubian. So MC Ren got on that bandwagon, and that's when his music lost its bite. But then I think in 1996, and he came back with a Mad Scientist. I forgot the name of that album, but the first thing was Mad Scientist. That was when he started to get his edge back. And that song was just hot. And then he came out with Ruthless for Life 2 years later, which is really like the cherry on top of his career, when he reestablished who MC Ren was. Over the years, Ren has made some great songs as far as like spitting, but of course times have changed. People are not checking for the older rappers anymore. I think Jay-Z may be the only older rapper whose albums actually get any kind of attention when they come out. LL's music, nobody even checks for LL anymore, and he was the last man standing as far as just older cat putting albums out people cared for. Dre was almost there, but then he took so long with Detox. It looked like, you know, his music career, but Dre's in a class by himself, you know, as far as beats by Dre and everything he's done over the times. Dre needs no introduction. He don't need me to even speak to him. But MC Ren, I would say, if you want to go back and you want to just really hear, when you look at those top 10 rappers or those top 20 rappers, you need to really go back and listen to those 3 songs of MC Ren, and you tell me if he's not in that top 10, top 20. All right, and I will say those 3 songs you should check for is If It Ain't Rough, It Ain't Me, Days of Way Back, and Final Frontier. Those are the 3 MC Ren songs where if you really just want to know who MC Ren was, Lorenzo Patterson, I think is his real name, you listen for those songs. And like I said, he was one of the best as far as battle rhymes go, as far as claiming who I am, braggadocio, what hip hop was about back then. And I'm not comparing him to Cube. Cube was a storyteller. Cube spoke on politics. He was a storyteller, and he was also more like a journalist, a reporter. That was his type of. The only person who was like Cube back then was Slick Rick and Run DMC, that talked about the times and politics. Those are only 2 in Public Enemy. A handful. But Ice Cube, just to wrap up Ice Cube in this conversation, is he was the only one of those cats that still had a street edge. But MC Ren is one of the most forgotten or overlooked rappers when it comes to being the best. I'm not talking about record sales. See, a lot of people, I think when you hear best rapper, people keep thinking of record sales. I'm not talking about record sales. I'm talking about just going in this booth and spitting something that's just plain hot, that you feel it, that just makes you be like, like that's how it used to be back in the days. You listen to a rapper to see where they spitting it, how was their delivery. You didn't really look at the charts. You were happy if they sold, but you didn't really look at the charts. And MC Ren was selling. He was in NWA, they were multi-platinum. His solo career didn't do so well. And once again, like I said, I can speak to that, just analyzing his solo career when he separated from NWA. Once he went into the Nation of Islam, he lost a lot of his edge. And not to mention, I think that a lot of people just weren't, he didn't have the right production. I'm listening to his beats then with his solo projects. He didn't have the right producers. Dre's just one of those people where he could get into the artists and he knows how to bring the best out of them. And I think also Ren had Cube to compete with. He had the DOC to compete with. So I think that brought the best out of him. And they were new at the time. The goal of NWA was to put Compton on the map, because all the best rappers were coming out of New York. Even though rap was already through the blaxploitation movement, rap was always here. You people can say New York did it first, but Ice-T kind of was out there at the same time Run DMC was. The East Coast took off with it first, but MC Ren wanted to make it his business. He was a part of that movement to make sure that LA was respected, that they put Compton on the map, his hometown, and he did a superb job with that as far as Straight Outta Compton goes, and his EP Kiss My Black Ass, and as far as the contributions he made to Eazy-E's first solo album. Those 3 gems are where that brief time in MC Ren's young life, in his youth. I think he came out at the age of 18. So I say between the ages of 18 and 21. Within that short time, this guy wrote some magnificent pieces that you should really go back and check out. So that's it. You don't have to agree with me. I didn't put this out to debate with anyone who the best rappers are. This is just my opinion. All right. And I stand by it. Like, share, follow, subscribe. And you can find me on Instagram Mitchy Chulo is my Instagram name. If you want to follow me on Instagram, let it do what it do.